The village of Ashwood had one rule. When the church bell rings at sunset, you go inside. You lock every door. You cover every window. You make no noise. And you never, ever go outside until dawn. Break this rule and you die. Everyone knew this. Everyone obeyed. Until Finn. Finn was 17. Rebellious. Angry. He thought the rule was stupid. Old superstition from paranoid ancestors. His grandmother tried to explain. The rule keeps us safe. From what? Finn demanded. She would not say. None of the elders would. Just obey, they insisted. Finn hated being told what to do without explanation. Tonight he would find out why. At precisely 6 p.m. the church bell rang. Villagers scattered like frightened rabbits. Doors slammed. Locks clicked. Windows were covered with heavy wooden shutters. Within minutes, Ashwood looked abandoned. Dead. Silent. Finn watched from his window. The streets were completely empty. Fog rolled in from the forest. Darkness fell. And then the waiting began. What were they waiting for? His family. His father, mother, grandmother, and little sister Emma. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. They just sat there in silence listening. To what? Finn wondered. He heard nothing. Just wind. Just normal night sounds. This is ridiculous, he whispered. His father grabbed his arm hard. Silence, he hissed. You will get us all killed. Hours passed. Midnight came. Finn grew bored. Restless. He needed to see what everyone feared. Needed to prove there was nothing out there. When his family finally dozed, Finn stood quietly. Crossed to the window. Lifted the shutter edge slightly. Peeked outside. And saw something that made his blood turn to ice. Something impossible. Something that should not exist. The street was filled with them. Dozens of them. Tall, thin figures moving through the fog. Not walking. Gliding. Their bodies were wrong. Too long. Too bent. Limbs at impossible angles. Faces that were almost human but horribly not. They moved silently house to house. Checking doors. Scratching at windows. Searching. Hunting. Finn watched frozen in terror. His grandmother was right. The rule was not superstition. It was survival. One creature stopped directly outside his window. It tilted its head. Listening. Finn held his breath. Did not move. Did not blink. The creature reached out one impossibly long arm. Touched the shuttered window. Scratched slowly. Testing. Finn felt the vibration through the wood. The creature was inches away. Just one thin barrier between them. Finn prayed silently. His heart hammered. The creature listened. Then moved on. Finn backed away from the window. His grandmother was awake. Watching him. She had known he would look. She whispered so quietly he barely heard. Now you understand. They come every night. Have for 200 years. We survive by following the rule. Silence. Darkness. Stillness. Make them think we are not here. Finn nodded. He understood now. Some rules exist for reasons we cannot imagine until we see the monsters. But Finn had made a mistake. When he lifted the shutter, moonlight had escaped. Just a sliver. Just a second. But one creature had noticed. It stood in the street staring at his house. Memorizing. Marking. Tomorrow night it would return. And it would bring others. Because now they knew. Someone in this house was awake. Someone had broken the rule. The hunt was about to begin. Dawn finally came. The church bell rang again. Villagers emerged cautiously. Checking. Counting. Everyone had survived another night. But Finn noticed something. The village elder, old Victor, was going door to door, checking each house carefully, looking for signs. When he reached the door, he stared at Finn hard. "You looked," he said. It was not a question. Finn nodded. Victor's face went pale. "God help us all." Victor called emergency village meeting. Everyone gathered in the church. He explained. When someone breaks the rule, the creatures mark that house. They remember. Tonight they will focus their attention there. They will try harder to get in. And if they succeed, they will slaughter everyone inside. Then move to the next house. And the next. Until the entire village is dead. This has happened before. Long ago. The villagers turned on Finn. Angry. Terrified. "He has doomed us all," someone shouted. "Throw him out. Let the creatures take him. Save the rest of us." His mother stepped forward. "He is my son. He made a mistake. We protect our own." Victor raised his hand. "Silence. We have one chance. We fortify his house. Make it impossible to breach. Lure them there. Keep them focused on one target. Tonight we fight." All day the village worked. Boarding up windows with extra planks. Reinforcing doors with iron bars. Creating weapons. Axes. Spears. Fire. The church bell was moved to roof where someone could ring warning. Finn house became fortress. His family stayed inside as bait. Other villagers positioned themselves nearby as backup. If the creatures broke through, reinforcements would respond. It was desperate plan. But only plan they had. As sunset approached, Finn sat with his family. His father sharpened an axe. His mother held Emma close. His grandmother prayed. "I am sorry," Finn whispered. His father looked at him. "You were curious. Foolish but human. Now we face consequences together. As family. If we die tonight, we die protecting each other. That is what matters." Finn nodded. Tonight he would become a man. Or tonight he would die trying. The church bell rang. Sunset. Darkness fell. Fog rolled in thicker than usual. And then they came. Not dozens this time. Hundreds. They emerged from the forest like army. Moving directly toward Finn house. They knew. They remembered. And tonight they would feast. The creatures surrounded the house completely. Testing every wall. Every window. Every weakness. The siege had begun. The first creature threw itself against the door. The wood cracked but held. Another joined. Then another. Pounding. Crashing. The door splintered. Finn's father braced it with his body. More creatures attacked windows. Boards broke. Claws reached through. Finn swung his axe. Cut off grasping fingers. The creatures screamed. A sound like nails on glass. Like dying animals. Like nothing human. The family fought desperately. But there were too many. The backup bell rang. Villagers rushed from nearby houses. 20 men with torches and weapons. They attacked the creatures from behind. Fire worked best. The creatures feared flames. They scattered momentarily. Regrouped. The fight moved into the street. Humans versus monsters. A battle that had been brewing for 200 years. Tonight it would be decided. Either the village survived or the creatures finally won. No more hiding. No more silence. War. Victor the Elder fought like demon. He had lived through this once before as child. 60 years ago when his father broke the rule. His family had died that night. Only he survived. He had carried that trauma his whole life. Tonight he would end it. Tonight the creatures would learn humans could fight back. He swung his torch in wide arcs, burning everything that moved. "Come on," he roared. "Come and die." But victory was brief. The creatures adapted. They circled, avoided fire, attacked from darkness. One grabbed Victor from behind, dragged him into shadows. He screamed once. Then silence. His torch fell, went out. The villagers panicked. If Victor could die, anyone could. They retreated back toward houses. The creatures pressed advantage. More villagers fell, dragged into darkness. Gone. The battle was turning. Humans were losing. Then Finn remembered something his grandmother said. The creatures come from the forest. They return to forest at dawn. Which means they have nest. Denmark home base. What if we attack there? What if we burn their home? Kill them where they sleep during day? It was insane plan. But staying defensive meant slow death. Finn shouted to remaining villagers. Fall back. Retreat to church. We try again tomorrow. Different strategy. Attack at source. The creatures did not follow them into the church. They surrounded it but did not attack. They just waited, watching. The villagers barricaded inside counted losses. Victor dead. 5 others dead. 3 missing. In one night they had lost 10% of population. At this rate, village would be extinct in 10 nights. We need new plan, Finn father agreed. Tomorrow we hunt them. But how do we find their nest? Emma spoke up. I know where. Everyone stared at 8-year-old Emma. How do you know? Her mother asked. Emma explained. Last summer I followed deer into deep forest. Found big cave. Bones everywhere. Human bones. Old clothes. Skulls. I ran away and never told anyone. Thought it was bear cave. But now I know. That is where they live. That is their home. She could lead them there. If they dared go into the forest. Into the creature's territory. They argued through the night. Too dangerous. Suicide. We will all die. But Finn pointed out the alternative. Stay here and die slowly as creatures pick us off night by night. Or attack their home during day when they sleep. Burn them alive. End this threat permanently. His father nodded. The boy is right. We take fight to them. 20 volunteers stepped forward. Tomorrow at first light they would hunt monsters. Dawn broke. The creatures retreated into forest. Church bell rang. The hunting party prepared. Torches. Oil. Weapons. They would burn the cave. Trap the creatures inside. Kill them all. Emma drew map from memory. The cave was 5 miles deep in forest. Narrow entrance. Perfect for trapping. They set out at sunrise. Women and children stayed in village. Praying. If the hunting party failed, everyone remaining would die tonight. Everything depended on this. The forest was wrong. Trees grew twisted. No birds sang. No animals moved. Just silence. Death. The hunting party moved carefully, following Emma directions. After 3 hours they found it. Cave entrance hidden behind waterfall. Wide enough for creatures but narrow enough to block. Bones littered the ground. Hundreds of skulls. Centuries of victims. This was monster graveyard. And today it would become their tomb. They poured oil at cave entrance. Soaked wood. Prepared fire. Finn father lit torch. Before we do this, know that some of us will not return. These creatures will fight back. But we fight for our families. For our village. For survival. Are you ready? Every man nodded. They poured oil into cave. Lit it. Flames roared inward. Screaming started immediately. Unholy. Terrifying. The creatures were burning. But they were also waking up. And coming out. Burning creatures burst from cave. On fire but alive. Attacking blindly in pain and rage. The hunting party fought desperately. Axes. Spears. More fire. Finn swung his axe into burning creature's skull. It collapsed. He killed his first monster. But more kept coming. Dozens. The cave was deeper than they thought. More creatures than anyone imagined. The hunters were being overwhelmed. They would die here. All of them. Unless something changed. Fast. Then the cave ceiling collapsed. The fire had weakened stone. Tons of rock crashed down, blocking the entrance, trapping remaining creatures inside. They screamed as they burned alive. The hunters backed away. Watching. Listening. The screaming went on for 10 minutes. Then stopped. Silence. They waited. Nothing emerged. After an hour they approached carefully. The cave was sealed. Everything inside was dead. They had done it. The monsters were extinct. The hunting party returned to village as heroes. They had lost 3 men but killed hundreds of creatures. The 200-year nightmare was over. That night the church bell still rang at sunset. Old habits die hard. But villagers did not hide. They stood in streets. Watching. Waiting. No creatures came. For the first time in 10 generations, Ashwood was free. They celebrated cautiously. Tomorrow would tell if freedom was real. But Finn could not celebrate. Something felt wrong. He stood at forest edge staring into darkness. His father joined him. "What is it?" he asked. Finn shook his head. "I do not know. Just feeling. Like we missed something. Like it is not over." His father laughed. "You killed the monsters. Burned their home. What more could there be?" Finn did not answer. That night Finn had nightmare. He saw the cave again. But deeper. Past where they burned. Underground tunnels stretching miles. And in those tunnels, hundreds more creatures. Thousands. The cave was not their home. It was just entrance. Just front door. The real nest was underground. Unreachable. Untouchable. And now those creatures knew humans had attacked. Now they were angry. Finn woke screaming. His father held him. "Just dream," he said. But Finn knew better. 3 nights passed peacefully. The village relaxed. Believed they were safe. Then on 4th night the church bell rang at sunset out of habit. People went inside laughing now. Mocking old traditions. Finn family stayed vigilant. Doors locked. Windows covered. They remembered. And at midnight they heard it. Scratching. Not on their door. On every door. Every window. Every house. Hundreds of creatures. Thousands. The survivors had come for revenge. The real war was just beginning. The village erupted in chaos. Screams. Breaking wood. Doors splintering everywhere. These creatures were smarter. Angrier. They had learned from first attack. They spread out. Attacked simultaneously. No house was safe. No family spared. Finn grabbed Emma and ran. His parents fought at door. Holding it closed. "Go," his father roared. "Get to church. We will hold them." Finn hesitated. His mother screamed. "Go now. Save your sister." Finn ran. Behind him his parents died buying seconds. Finn and Emma ran through burning village. Creatures everywhere. Villagers dying. Dragged into darkness. Children screaming for parents who would never answer. The church was ahead. Heavy doors. Stone walls. If they reached it they might survive. Creatures chased them. Close. Too close. Emma tripped. Finn grabbed her. Lifted her. Ran harder. Legs burning. Lungs screaming. Church doors ahead. Almost there. Creature lunged. Finn dove through doors. Villagers slammed them shut. Finn collapsed. Emma was safe. But everyone else was dead or dying. 37 people made it to church. Out of 200 villagers. The rest were dead. Gone. The creatures surrounded the church. Thousands of them. Testing walls. Climbing toward windows. The church was strong but not strong enough. By dawn they would break through. And 37 survivors would become corpses. Finn held Emma close. "I am sorry," he whispered. "I caused this. I broke the rule." An old woman touched his shoulder. "No, child. You exposed the truth. Better to die fighting than live hiding." Then Victor's grandson stepped forward. His name was Lucas. He was 12 when his grandfather died fighting. He had watched. Learned. And now he had plan. The church has catacombs. Underground tunnels. They lead outside village. Old escape route from medieval times. We can evacuate. Sneak everyone out while creatures focus on church. Set fire to distract them. By time they realize we are gone we will be miles away. It was desperate. But it was chance. Only chance they had. They moved fast. 37 people descending into catacombs. Finn and 3 others stayed behind. They would set church on fire. Make creatures think everyone died inside. Give survivors time to escape. It was suicide mission. Finn volunteered. He caused this. He would fix it. Or die trying. Emma cried. Finn hugged her. "Be brave, little sister. Tell everyone I love them." Then he closed the catacombs door. Sealing his fate. 4 against thousands. No hope of survival. Just duty. Finn and volunteers poured oil everywhere. Soaked pews. Altar. Walls. The creatures were breaking through windows now. Claws reaching inside. Almost through. Finn lit torch. Looked at his 3 companions. "Thank you for staying." They nodded. No words needed. Heroes rarely talk. They just act. Finn threw torch. Flames exploded. The church became inferno. Creatures screamed. Some burned. Others fled. The distraction worked. Below ground the survivors ran through tunnels racing for their lives. Finn smiled. He had saved them. That was enough. But then Finn found it. Door in church basement behind altar. Hidden. Old. He and volunteers broke through. Stone stairs leading down. Down to tunnels, different tunnels than catacombs. These were older. Ancient. And they led to something impossible. Underground chamber. Huge. And in center was egg. Giant egg the size of car. Pulsing. Glowing. The creatures were not protecting cave. They were protecting this. This was their queen. Unhatched. Waiting. If it hatched the nightmare would never end. Finn understood now. The creatures were drones. Workers. Soldiers. But not the real threat. This egg was. When it hatches it would birth queen who would lay million more eggs. The cycle would spread beyond forest. Beyond village. Across world. The attack on cave had been test. Humans passed. Proved they were threat. So Queen accelerated hatching. Tonight she would emerge. Tonight the real horror would begin. Unless Finn stopped it. Destroyed egg before it hatched. He had minutes. Maybe seconds. The 4 volunteers attacked egg with axes. It was hard. Tough. But they swung desperately. Cracks formed. Green liquid leaked. The egg shuddered. Something inside screamed. Angry. The tunnel shook. Above them creatures went mad. They knew what was happening. They poured into church. Through flames. Dying but coming. Racing to protect their queen. Finn swung harder. The egg split. Massive creature inside. Not fully formed but alive. Writhing. Finn poured last oil on it. Lit match. The queen burned before she could fully hatch. The moment queen died, every creature stopped. Everywhere. In church. In village. In forest. They just stopped moving. Stood frozen. Then they began dissolving. Turning to ash. Blowing away like dust. The hive mind was broken. Without queen they were nothing. Just empty shells. Within minutes every creature was gone. Finn and volunteers climbed out of burning church. Stood in village ruins. Alone. Covered in ash. Exhausted. But alive. Against all odds they had won. The nightmare was truly over. Dawn came. The survivors in catacombs emerged miles away. They saw smoke. Feared the worst. Returned carefully. Found Finn and volunteers alive. Found village destroyed but creatures gone. Found freedom purchased with terrible price. 37 survivors out of 200. Most families destroyed. Most homes burned. But they were alive. And the monsters were extinct. Truly extinct this time. The queen was dead. No more eggs. No more terror. Ashwood had survived. Barely. But survived. They buried their dead. Rebuilt their village. But they never forgot. A monument was erected in village center. Stone pillar with names of all who died. And at top a new rule carved in stone. Never hide from monsters. Face them. Fight them. Kill them. Because survival is not about hiding in darkness. It is about standing in light. Finn became village leader. Emma grew up strong. And Ashwood thrived. Free. Finally free. The silence was broken. And they had won. Years later travelers would ask about the monument. About the burned forest. About the sealed cave. And Finn would tell them the story. About the rule. About the creatures. About the night they stopped hiding and started fighting. Some believed. Some thought it was legend. But Ashwood knew the truth. Monsters are real. Darkness is real. But so is courage. So is sacrifice. And when humans stand together, when they refuse to hide, they can defeat anything. Even the silence. Even the night.